Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another episode of the Back of the Pack podcast. I am your host, Kyle Walker. My pleasure to be with you as always. I hope everyone's having another great week as we here in Kansas City we're definitely enjoying so far a lighter than expected winter. We are really making out like champs with some of the weather that we've been getting. Not too cold, not a lot of snow. We got a little this past week, but it was gone in a day. Really, we are fortunate right now, and I hope that continues on as we're already almost to the halfway point of February. And hey, if we can get into this time in March, you're looking pretty good. So here's hoping that we can keep this thing rolling. So we had a race this weekend. We had the Sweetheart Run in Overland Park, Kansas, and I was really looking forward to this race. And I was signed up for the 10K, and a lot of our friends were going to be out there. And I went and got myself hurt on Tuesday night, and I couldn't run the race. So I am not at all pleased about this. This is where I am very thankful and very excited to have our KC Hustle Club and Back of the Pack podcast ambassadors. A lot of them, if not all of them, were at that race. And so we're going to have some people doing write-ups, and we're going to have some coverage of that race from people that aren't me. And so that is actually very exciting stuff because more of other people, less of me, always a good thing. So you're going to be getting a write-up. The after action report on our blog is going to be done by some other folks and not me. And there were some pictures taken by other folks and not me. And so it'll be something different. And that's awesome. So if you didn't know, or if you've forgotten, because more than likely someone has forgotten, if you go to our website, www.backofthepackpodcast.com, you can find the after action reports. These are blog write-ups that I have done along with pictures after every race. So maybe I didn't cover a race all that great on the show, for time reasons, or we had other stuff to talk about or whatever. You can always go out there and find the write-ups that we've done about any particular race. And maybe it'll answer a question that you have about the race, or maybe it will, get you excited to do a particular race. So never forget that option is out there. Anytime I can direct people to the website, I always want to do that. We would love to get the traffic up. So always go out, check out the after action reports. And the Sweetheart Run for this year is going to be done by folks that are not me. Because again, I was injured. I was not able to participate in the race, although I was really close. I had my stuff laid out. I had my shirt lined up. I had my pants out that I was going to wear, had the running shoes all prepped and ready. But I did not go out. I did not run the race injured. So what happened? Not that you care, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because apparently people didn't know this about me. I love running, and I love running 5Ks. But in my mind, in my skill level, running a 5K is not a competition. All right. I'm not competing with anyone else out there. I am only competing against myself and my times and the course and maybe the weather, if we go back to last year. But I'm not competing with other runners. That's just not where I'm at when I'm at a race. That's not my mindset. But my entire life, I compete. I have played every sport that there is on some form of competitive level. Okay, we're talking baseball, football, basketball, even hockey, soccer, wrestling. I mean, I've done it all. I love sports. I love team sports, and I love to compete in sports. So back when I got into the Boston Marathon, I was like, okay, well, I should probably stop this because I don't want to hurt myself while I'm in training. And so I've only been running for maybe 4 months now, 3 to 4 months. It has been killing me to not be playing a team sport. So when my men's indoor soccer team, had some people out, needed someone to come back, I was in. It's like, man, you know what? I should really focus up on my training for Boston, but I have to compete. I have to play a sport. I had to do something other than just run because I can't just be a runner. I consider myself, you can disagree if you'd like, I consider myself somewhat of an athlete, meaning I want to play all the sports, even at almost 43 years old and as broken down as I am. If you say, hey, do you want to go play basketball? Well, yes, I do. Do you want to go play soccer? Yes, I do. I love team sports. And so when they needed someone to come play on Tuesday, I was in. I went out, freak accident. I play the keeper, the goalie, because that's where you put the fat kid. You put him in goal. So I went out. A guy had a very open shot. He was able to get behind our defenders. I went out and I tried to slide to, block the shot because it was in the box where I'm allowed to slide. And I did. He didn't score. He also lost his balance and he came down knee first right into my ribs. And so he fractured a rib. And it has been a very painful week for me. Very hard to find a position to sleep in with a fractured rib. And breathing deeply is also not a huge amount of fun. So I finally went to urgent care, got the x-ray. Yep, got a fractured rib. Okay, super great. Now, there's nothing you can do about it. You just heal. So I'm going to just heal. But I had to miss the race on Saturday, which stinks. I wanted to do that race. I wanted the 10K. It actually ended up being a very lovely day for it, but it was not meant to be. So I have a half marathon in 2 weeks. If you are going out to the John Brown half marathon in Osawatomie, Kansas, I will be out there doing that race. I hope to see some folks out there. Get nothing the next weekend because there just aren't any races scheduled, at least nothing that I can see. So that is how we're going to finish up February. Now, there's another event going on today, and you guys will have to pardon me because I'm going to talk something for a moment that is not running related. But it's kind of a big day here in Kansas City, as today is Super Bowl Sunday, and our Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. So huge day. I firmly expect that this episode is not going to get released until Monday after the Super Bowl, because I would never sit here and ask producer Katie to edit this show during the Super Bowl. No, not going to do it. Not going to happen. So I imagine this is going to come out after the fact. So we're going to break down the game that hasn't happened yet. And I'm going to try and put on my hat of prediction. And here's what's going to go down. The game will start. A team will win the coin toss. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so I see it going one of two ways, and some of Kansas City is probably going to be mad at me about this. Either the Chiefs win a very close shootout, or the Chiefs get absolutely demolished by 3 touchdowns. I don't see Philadelphia winning close, and I definitely don't see the Chiefs winning in a blowout. We either get blown out or we win a close one. I really don't know what to expect. I really don't. The Eagles played in a bad division. Their only other competition was, the New York Giants, who overachieved this year, but no one ever believed the New York Giants were a really good team. The Dallas Cowboys, who they had a good year, but they always have a good year, but they're still never a threat in the playoffs, so no one really bought into them. Washington Commanders had a good year, not a great year. No one ever bought into them. So the Eagles really did not get too many tests. The Eagles had a really bad loss to Arizona. The Chiefs beat Arizona. The game is being played in Arizona. So who knows? Maybe the Chiefs will come out and just absolutely demolish the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles will get exposed as complete frauds. I doubt it. But you never know. This is why they play the game, and we don't just sit here and guess on who's going to win. You actually have to go out and prove it on the field. And I am very much looking forward to this evening's game. Next up, okay, I know I brought great pain to producer Katie last week because I went over the New York Marathon yet again, and now I'm going to do it again. No, I'm kidding. But hey, the window is still open. Go ahead and get your name in for the New York Marathon if you have not already. Apparently, they were experiencing higher than usual volumes of people trying to register. So the site crashed a few times. I think that's kind of funny. But yes, get yourself in. You have until February 22nd. You have time. Like, you don't have to run right out. Just don't forget about it. If you are thinking about doing it, get yourself signed up and get into the New York Marathon. I don't know why you wouldn't. If you have any desire to run a full marathon, get in that lottery. And then I will wish you nothing but the best on March 1st when they release the results. So that's where we are in that. So what do we have now? Yes, it is Super Bowl day, but we do have a holiday coming up. And in my mind, in my world, this is the granddaddy of all non-holidays. I could not care less about Valentine's Day. I know. Call me a hopeless romantic, or don't. I think it's the most worthless holiday ever, created by Hershey's chocolate and Hallmark cards. Another way to try and make money when they're, starting to taper down from the holidays. So anyway, I don't care about Valentine's Day even a little bit. However, it happens. We have this entire weekend full of Valentine's Day themed races. That's always fun. seeing the pictures that came out of the Sweetheart Run yesterday, all the couples wearing their matching outfits and all the adorable pictures with the signs, and the medal was a chocolate covered heart. And yes, it's very sweet, and you can get a lot of really good photos out of it. So that's cool. I get it. I understand why we do this. But man, I really don't care about Valentine's Day. And I know that's coming from the guy who just got married like a week and a half ago. Okay. Well, it's second marriage. So, it doesn't count. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Ha 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 ha. But even my new bride knows that I don't care about Valentine's Day. I don't even know what we're going to do for Valentine's Day this year. I don't know. We'll maybe go eat dinner somewhere. Can I drink? Is that okay? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but it got me thinking, okay, so what do we think about couples in running? Is there a benefit? We have group runs, and we all like the group runs. Well, some of you like the group runs more than others. We have our races where we get to see all of our running buddies. But is there benefit to having a significant other who also runs? Now, I will say yes. I am just going to give you my opinion right now. I am not going to beat around the bush or hide it. I think that it is an awesome thing when you enjoy something and your significant other enjoys it as well, like running. So just a little piece of my history, was married, got divorced, spent 12 years in the single dating world. Okay. So in that 12 years, I was in a dating relationship with a person, and she also was a runner. Now, there were plenty of other issues, plenty of other reasons that did not work out. But the fact that we both enjoyed running was really cool. It was really nice on the early Saturday mornings where I needed to get up and go to a race where the person was also doing the same thing. We were both getting up, we were both getting ready, and we were both going to the same race. And then, yes, you get to do all the cutesy couples matching outfits. You get to, hey, what are you going to wear to this race? Well, how about this? You want to wear this? Oh, let's dress like this. There were races we would wear all royal stuff. There were races you'd wear Chiefs stuff. There were races we'd wear Captain America shirts because we both had the same Captain America shirt. I thought it was cool to share race mornings with a significant other. Now, does that make a relationship? No, clearly not, because that's not the case. My now wife could not care less about getting up on a Saturday morning to go to a 5K, 10K, half or full. Does not care at all. I think she has been at one finish line of a race that I've done, and that was because we both happened to be in New York City. So she was there when I finished New York, but I think that's the only finish line that she's been at. The race scene is not her scene, and I get it. She does Pilates. That is not my scene. I have no desire to go sit on one of those machines and be tortured for 60 minutes. I'd rather go run a race. So we do not have that. That is not something that is in our relationship, but I do think that for those who do, it is beneficial. So, of course, I went out and I did the research. I do the research so that you don't have to. And not only, this time I didn't go to just Runner's World. I'm not listening to what just runners say. I went and found something. This is from Psychology Today. This is a website by therapist for therapists. And this is what they say about couples that at least train together, work out together. There are definitely benefits. Here's what they bring up. We're going to go through a few of them here. So it says, and I'm just going to read the beginning here. Every day across the country, individuals are hitting health clubs, unrolling yoga mats, pounding the pavement, and signing on to new fitness challenges. Maybe they shouldn't be doing it alone. It's time you consider how physical fitness can benefit not only your own health and well-being, but also your romantic relationship. Why not grab your partner's hand and invite him or her to be your workout partner as well? A growing body of evidence suggests that couples who sweat together really do stay together. In fact, working out can, and we have 5 things that we're going to go over. Number 1, increase your happiness with your relationship. Lab studies show that after jointly participating in an exciting physical challenge or activity, couples report feeling more satisfied with their relationships and more in love with their partner. It says exercise is a perfect example of the type of invigorating activity that can have these positive effects. It's the physiological arousal rather than the novelty or challenge of the activity that drives romantic attraction. This suggests that sharing a fitness goal, such as training for a 5K or triathlon, taking regular runs together, ballroom dancing, or having a date night at the gym can boost the quality of your romantic relationship. And again, I agree with that. That's absolutely true. Anytime I've been, and yeah, I'm trying to keep this PG related, or PG rated. But anytime I've been in a relationship or, kind of some kind of dating situation with someone who shared the running world, or, you do exercise together, play a round of golf, go play a tennis match. Yeah. When you're just done, you're just kind of happier with the person. It's like, man, we got our workout in, we had a good time. That helps draw you closer together, in my opinion. Let's see. Number 2, improve the efficiency of your workouts. A longstanding concept in social psychology is that a mere presence of someone else affects your ability to do an activity. Even if you already feel competent doing a particular exercise, bringing along your romantic partner may be a fantastic way to boost your energy output. Your partner's presence will improve your speed without you necessarily being aware of their influence. On the other hand, if you are just beginning to learn to do burpees or manage a new elliptical machine, better to stick to trying it solo for the time being. In these cases, your partner's presence may interfere with your ability to complete a challenging task. Take some time to master the exercise, then bring your partner along for a performance boost. Okay, so which of us who have had their significant other at the finish line waiting for them didn't maybe run a little faster, didn't maybe try a little harder, didn't maybe, just work on getting a little quicker pace so you could get to the finish line and they would be all super happy to see you. And they've got a sign holding up, that you're the best and whatever. If you've got someone at the finish line, or if you know that your significant other is going to be at mile marker 12 cheering you on, you try and get to mile marker 12 just a little faster. You try and get to the finish line just a little faster. So it's definitely, whether you're aware of it or not, it's definitely a mental thing to have your significant other either along the race course or at the finish line, because you will try and get to them quicker. Number 3, make your partner fall in love with you. Oh, this is so sweet. Exercise induces the symptoms of physiological arousal, sweaty hands, a racing pulse, shortness of breath. These symptoms mirror, in many ways, the thrill of romantic attraction. Interestingly, people can easily mistake the two and misattribute physical arousal for romantic attraction. Yeah, see the dating world. Use this phenomenon to your advantage by inviting your romantic interest to work out with you. The results? A likely boost to your attractiveness in his or her eyes. And who couldn't use that? I know I would like to look more attractive in anyone's eyes. Okay, number 4, help you achieve your fitness goals. When partners care about fitness, their own and their partners, it becomes easier to achieve fitness goals. A recent study of heterosexual couples showed that average weight husbands who care about fitness engage in more physical activity when their wives offer more supportive, health-related comments. Sharing in the ups and downs of a daily morning walk, a tough bike ride, or a strenuous Zumba class can provide the perfect context for such comments. One cautionary note: don't rely too heavily or exclusively on your partner when it comes to your own fitness goals. Outsourcing, and they put that in quotations, outsourcing the mental effort required to complete fitness goals can reduce your own effort. Okay, so this makes sense. If you and your partner are working out together, definitely use words of encouragement. That will help them reach their goals. They didn't mention it in this, but on the flip side, and again, I get this and I've experienced this, although I don't like it. You have to be really careful. And again, this is not them talking. This is just me. You have to be very careful with the playful ribbing or with the playful banter, or, it borderlines on kind of talking shit, but you're doing it lovingly. But if you catch someone at the wrong spot, it's going to actually do more damage than it does good. Example of that, again, the woman I was dating many years ago, where she and I ran together, I had a particularly bad race. I don't know what the problem was. I don't remember at this point. It was a half marathon. It was shit. I did terrible. And I know that in her heart, she was trying to lighten the mood. And so there were just kind of a few little zingers sent in my direction of, oh, well, you didn't run well because of blah, or, if you hadn't done this, then you would have done better. And again, I know it was not meant maliciously. I know that it was not. But in that moment where I'm already disgusted with myself and I'm disgusted with my performance, to get piled on, it didn't sit well. Didn't sit right. It didn't lead to any kind of a big blow up. I didn't, lose my stuff. I just internalized it, which I do, and which a lot of us runners do. And it kind of festered and just kind of dwelled in there for a while. And that's not healthy. It's not good for relationships. It's not good for your overall health. It's not good for your mental health when it comes to running. If you sit there and dwell on the bad races, it's hard to get yourself up for the next race, because oh, well, it's just going to be another crappy race just like the one I just had. So I would caution everyone, definitely excel at the praise when it comes to, your partner reaching a fitness goal, getting that under 30-minute 5K, or getting that new bench press, or hitting that new Pilates move, or nailing that yoga pose, whatever it is. Definitely go all out on the praise. But I would just caution you, keep a little bit of the, even if it's constructive criticism, either temper it or just kind of keep it to yourself until the time is right. So, and then number 5 on this list, the last one from Psychology Today, this will increase your emotional bond. When you work out together, you create a context in which you can coordinate your actions. For example, you might lift weights in rhythm with your partner, match your own walking or running pace with his or hers, or toss medicine balls back and forth. Such behavior creates nonverbal matching, or mimicry. Let's say that 3 times fast. Mimicry, which benefits you both. Nonverbal mimicry helps people feel emotionally attuned with one another, and those who experience or engage in it tend to report greater feelings of having bonded with their partner. Exercising together provides an opportunity to create such connection, benefiting both your health and your relationship. So then they sum it up with this. In sum, fitness can be about you or can be about you and your partner. So why not share this aspect of your lives? Either regularly or just on occasion, and discover how doing so might give your relationship a new dimension and new life. So cool. I like that. I think it's great. I enjoyed it when I had that in my life. I don't right now. I don't, it's fine. It's a thing. But if you are one of the ones that do, then please use it and use it to the fullest. If you're going to do something, and if you and your partner both enjoy it, oh my God, do the heck out of it. Do it together. It's going to bring you closer. Psychology Today says so. But just think about it. If you think about it for a moment, again, as I think about this, I'm trying to find the right words that I can just use to give you that aha moment. But as a guy who's been there, just trust me, you're going to love it. It's great. And I know Ambassador Will and Amanda, they will agree with this. They will confirm this, because those two are at every race together. They love it. And even though they are of different skill levels right now, because, let's be honest, William is just so much faster than Amanda. I hope one of you sends me a message about that. They're on different levels, but they go to the same race. They ride together. They ride there. They ride back. They take all the pictures. They encourage each other. One of them will go back up the course and finish the race with the other. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. And honestly, that is something that I do miss out of my relationships. But if you have it, please use it to the fullest. So just one more thing. I found an actual running article about running as a couple, and I'm just going to touch on it real quick. Some of the things they say, and again, from an actual running site, this is the Running Bee Foundation of the UK. I don't know how I ended up there, but some of the things they say, it brings you closer together. Yes, this one is obvious, but it's probably the most important on the list, or at least so they say. Brings you closer together. Encouragement. I think encouragement is another really big thing, as we touched on. Do not discourage, especially do not discourage in a moment of already existing discouragement. Don't do that. They bring up friendly competition. Yes, that I can agree with. because friendly competition is something that I kind of had. We both had time goals, and we both wanted to be the first ones to hit that time goal before the other one. And again, the goal was the same. Our ability levels were pretty close. She was faster than me, but we both wanted to hit this. It wasn't an unreachable goal, although neither of us ever got there. But yeah, it was a friendly competition, and I really liked it. Another one, and they put here, sharing the journey. When running as a couple, if you both enjoy exploring and discovering new places, why not make it your mission to run as many beautiful running routes as possible? You never know. You might end up stumbling across your new favorite hangout. But if you're looking for something a little more serious, the Running Bee Foundation, as they say, all regularly hosts some incredible running events. Okay, that's just their own personal commercial. Good on you. But the reason I wanted to read this, and well, again, before it went into their little spiel, destination races. I love destination races. I love traveling to go to a race. Again, just the real quick and dirty of where I've been. Tulsa, Oklahoma for a marathon. New Orleans for a marathon. Washington, D.C. for a marathon. Las Cruces, New Mexico. New York City. Chicago. Going to Boston. Heading to Berlin. And there's a few others that I'm probably spacing on right now. I love traveling. And going to a race, in my mind, in my warped little sense of being, is my excuse to travel. Oh, I'm going to go do the Boston Marathon. That means I get to go to Boston. Okay, I get to go see some of the cool stuff in Boston. I'm going to go see the bar that they filmed Cheers at, or I'm going to go to a Red Sox game, or hopefully, except I probably can't afford tickets, I'd love to go see a Boston Bruins game. Something like that. If you and your partner both want to go and sign up for these destination races, then you've got built-in vacation right there. Hey, let's both go out to St. George, Utah and do the St. George Marathon. Okay, yeah, cool. I've always wanted to go to Utah. All right, cool. We'll go for a week. It'll be beautiful. You know, whatever your excuse needs to be. But I think if you are a running couple, then you guys, even if you're just traveling for half marathons, travel for fulls, travel for halves, but go find these new races that you guys can do together and maybe build a long weekend around or build a little bit of a vacation around. That's what I've done. When I went up to Duluth, Minnesota, up there for a whole week, rented a house, took the kids, had a great time. I could base a vacation off of a race. And if you guys can do that together, if it's something you both enjoy, you both get to go run that destination race together. Again, in my mind, I don't see the downside to that. That sounds awesome to me. In my current situation, a little more difficult because I keep saying, hey, we can go here. I'll do this marathon. We can travel without you doing a race. That's the quote that I always get. It cracks me up. Yes, I can travel without doing the race, but when there's a race, I have a better excuse to travel. So anyway, I hope you guys found this a little helpful. Again, this was our little Valentine's Day stuff. Whatever. Again, I don't care about the day, but if you like it, then good on you. I hope you enjoy your day and stuff. So anyway, I would love to know if you guys have any feedback. If you agree, disagree, can you run with your significant other? Do you want to physically run away from them when you guys try and run together? Where are you guys all at with the running as a couple? I would be very curious to know. So like I said, no race for us next weekend. We've got the John Brown half marathon, assuming I can get my rib issue under control. Got that coming up on February 25th. And we're just going to continue on from there. We're lining up a few guests to come on the show. We are really starting to get into spring running season. A lot of that stuff is coming on. A lot of races that we're going to want you to, head out to because they're either supporting the show or we want to support their cause or both. Some surprise announcements in the future. There is a lot going on. So if you're new to the show, this is a great time to get on board. If you are a longtime listener, then buckle up, baby, because we got good stuff coming. And it's all because you guys are awesome and you've supported the show and supported the KC Hustle Club and just made this like almost the best year ever. We're not quite to a year yet, but we're getting really darn close. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Back of the Pack podcast. I am your host, Kyle Walker. My pleasure, as always. The show is produced by Katie O'Neill, producer Katie, as she is called to you. And we'll be back next week with another new episode. So have a great week of training, and we'll see you next week.